Okay, folks, I'll be coming along sometime real soon. Just going to let a few people get into the chat, let it build up a bit. But Sunday session, it's time to chill out. I love Sundays. Just kick back, relax, have a little smoke. But now that I'm trying to get used to the live streaming, I'll be doing that with you, the viewers, and the listeners. So I'll be along in just a moment. We've checked the stream. It's actually looking okay today so far, hopefully. Yay, we got somebody in the chat room now. We got Count Roxo, he's in the chat. So yeah, this is going to be good. Nothing too heavy today, folks. Just a nice kind of chill out with all of you in the chat room. Got a couple of stories, a couple of interesting things to bring up, and hopefully I'll be on with Unirock tonight as well. Hopefully I'll be on there with him. Fingers crossed, folks, because I really, really want to get the chance to hang out with Uni on his show. But the only real problem is, it's the actual time. It's the time zone. So hopefully I'll be able to hook up with Uni tonight. Hey, there's Nana in the chat room. We've got Nana, we've got Billy. That's two moderators in there. So I'll be along in just a moment, folks, okay? Don't panic. I'm here. I'm just getting set up. Just have a few more people filter in. It's not about the numbers, but get to 10, 20, and then we'll get going. John McCain, is he in my chat room? We don't want John McCain in the chat room. Oh, no. He's got a new job today, man. Yep, he's joined a more apt Congress, shall we say, down in the pits of hell. Oh, this is looking good. We've got 3 mods in there now. 3 fine-looking mods, may I add, as well. 4 mods! Carol's got her new wrench, or as we say, spanner over here. I'll be there in a moment, folks. You just stand by. It's going to be good. We'll have fun. That's what it's all about, right? Okay, folks, are we ready? I'm ready. You're ready. We're all ready. Okay, so let's get into it. Looking good so far, everyone. Looking good. As to the stream, hopefully it's going to stay that way. We can only try, and in the next couple of weeks, the equipment is going to be improved vastly. Don't want to say too much about that just yet, but mark my words, you know, Team KBS, we're coming together and we are going to take this all to the next level. And it's all of us together, because I notice so many of the same names in the chat all the time, and that makes my day. It truly, truly does. But let's get into it and let's get started. And you'll now get to see my ugly mush. Yes, that's right, folks. Here I come. So hopefully you'll be seeing me sometime real soon on there. It's a bit of a lag, so it's about getting used to this whole live streaming thing. But the picture that you're seeing on the screen now probably isn't one of the images that the mainstream media will use. It probably isn't one that they will talk about much, because today, of course, we're one day into this earth losing one evil character. Now, me personally, I can't bring myself to celebrate somebody dying, even somebody this evil, because for me, and this is just my opinion, that's almost like becoming the person that you're hating on in the first place. I know it would take something to become this guy, but me personally, I'm just not comfortable, taking to Facebook and social media and reveling in somebody else's passing, because there's family members and stuff like that. And, he was evil, yeah, but I was at a funeral the other day. It brings it home, Still real people left behind after these things, but that's not to give John McCain a pass, folks. Because like I say, probably people in mourning more today than even his pals in the club, in the cabal. These characters on the screen, John McCain, probably well known in amongst our kind of field of research for being, in my opinion, the major arms trader, the major arms producer and supplier for Al-Qaeda, and then what became known as ISIS after they drove through the desert one day from Iraq to Syria in all their shiny new Toyotas. And if you played the video long enough, you'd have seen that they had a Black Hawk escort into Syria. But nothing to see here, right? That was all down to this character. He was sitting drinking tea with them. He was lording it. They call him Songbird McCain. This guy was a traitor. Through and through, multiple times he betrayed the American people. And I don't think anyone in America would disagree with that. That's factually correct. And just this picture alone, here he is here with the former Al-Qaeda operative Abu Mossa. He's probably died about 10 times in the media. We've got ISIS Caliph Abu Bakr, not any relation to Kevin Baker. Abu Bakr, right? More joking, folks. But no, how many times has he been popped in the desert as well? Here you got this one, Muhammad Noor, suspect in the kidnapping of 3 hostages, shown in ISIS beheading videos. You really can't make that kind of stuff up. You really can't make that stuff up. So I'm just looking at the chat room, making sure everything's still okay. And one of my mods, you can message me and let me know how it's going, if there's any problems, anything like that. Big shout out to Billy, because she helped me get this screen, this actual live stream set up today. It's really hard when you're doing this yourself, so really appreciate it. And that's part of the Team KBS coming together. Absolutely brilliant. So then, big shout out to Hillary, Liza, Jean as well, and everyone else in there. We've got 28 in there just now. But yeah, we're talking about the passing of John McCain. Now, I looked at Facebook today and there's people on there. They've got celebrations, stuff like that. And like I say, each to their own. Me personally, I wasn't losing any sleep when he was on the earth. So it's not as if it's come as a big relief to me. However, that man's got blood in his hands. Big time. Absolutely big time. You had all that nonsense, QAnon nonsense, talking about, you've got Guantanamo, you've got all these indictments, you've got stuff like that, characters like McCain and namely Hillary and Podesta and all that mob, that they're all going to get tried and sent to prison. That's not happening, folks. And that's why people like him were able to pass away in their bed, not in a cell where he should be. And not just him, and he's far from the worst one when it comes to the arming of ISIS and everything else, okay? So, yeah, we probably are better off today now that he's gone. Humanity can kind of certainly feel a whole lot cleaner. One of these evil cats are away, but never lose sight of the fact that the likes of the McCains and the people who we know, enemy number one, all these politicians, the people we talk about, I'm more worried about the ones we don't know. You know, this cabal, it's not just politicians, it's not just your pop stars that are throwing up triangles and covering the eye. They're just minions. They truly are. You know, you start to go further up and people talk about the Rothschilds, that family, Rockefellers. I mean, there's still people who think they're truthers posting memes about Rockefeller wanting us all dead. We outlived him, folks. We beat Rockefeller. We're still here, okay? My point is, I think there's people that are unnamed, unknown. And I'll go there. I'll go that there's some kind of, you know, interdimensional, call it reptilian, call it something else, but they're at the very top of this pyramid. These animals like McCain, they just work for him. Big shout out to Billy. Thank you. Got your message there. It's actually working for a change. I've had to basically strip back everything on the PC. I really have. So, wait a minute. I'm just getting a message in there. Hey, 2 secs, folks. We're doing it live. Yes. Never a dull moment in the KBS command centre. But yeah, can't remember what I was saying now. Cannot remember what I was saying. Yeah, these entities, you know, the people in power, it's the ones we don't know. And I'm not going to go reptilian today, right? Not going to go there. Not yet, anyway. But you've got Rothschild family, you've got all these other families, you've got the royal family, but, you know, it's these people that you don't hear about. I think they're the real powerful ones. And, you know, unless we remove them, and I don't think we can physically remove any of them. This system, it's so ingrained. It's around the planet. It really is. But there's a new generation of these people growing up as well. You know, who are the ones set to take over from McCain? Who are these younger Rothschilds? Or the people that still are yet to amass power that we don't even know about yet? You know, power for me attracts psychopaths. Who in their right mind could do the job of a politician? You know, imagine you got to the Pres or Prime Minister and you're literally being asked to drop bombs on people. I couldn't do that. Even though how ironic is that? How almost hypocritical of me, since I was at one time in the army. But that's not a job I would like to do. I don't know, maybe I'm just a sheep. Maybe I just like to go along. Maybe I'm just somebody that needs a leader. I don't know. The people that go there, 9 times out of 10, 99 times out of 100, go for it. 100 times out of 100, they're psychopaths. They literally enjoy controlling people. They enjoy having us under their jackboot. They literally sleep easily at night when they're dropping bombs on innocent people. Because there might be a 5% chance that one of these characters that's already been killed in the desert 10 times might have been going to a wedding. To hell with all the 200 other guests that might perish in that dropping of a bomb. 9 times out of 10, they don't even get who they're after, right? Well, that's what they tell us in the news. They get exactly who they're after. They care not about people in the Middle East, folks. If they did, my government, Theresa May, she wouldn't be selling bombs to Saudi Arabia and Israel. And look what Saudi Arabia are doing to Yemen. Getting a bit heavy for a Sunday session, I know, but look, John McCain's gone. We can almost, if you can call it, celebrate that. One of them are away. It doesn't bring us any closer to our goal of coming together and living in the world that we all want to see, does it? So, I don't know, if you want to, you'll go and look at your social media, go and look at Twitter, there's people on there. I honestly think they're having like a party today, and I get it, I do get it. Maybe I'm just too soft or something, I just can't go there. But I tell you what, one character I do like going toe-to-toe with, and I'm not going to get fed up exposing this character. And we're going back to QAnon for a moment, okay, because just the other day we had this character here, Lionel Media. Ooh, I can barely say his name without wanting to launch into a pile of expletives. I don't know if you've seen it. He was cuddling up, getting dead cozy next to the president, next to, I can't remember, is it Conway, the blonde one that works with the press? Her looked kind of cool, kind of sexy when she was getting pictured in the Oval Office at the start. Yeah, I said it. I'm a dude, live with it. But yeah, Lionel Media, in the Oval Office, and I've not even really gone to the Q videos, the Q posters, the soy boy sathers of this world, because I know that this is going to be regarded as a major victory for anyone following Q. And this is going to be used to hammer home the lie that Donald Trump is in some way connected to Q. And it's just ridiculous. You know, they've even asked Lionel, did you bring up the right-wing conspiracy theory Q when you were with the president? Of course he bloody didn't. You stupid? No way is he going to talk about Q to Trump. He looks stupid enough as he is, doing it in his own home, in front of his microphone there. You know, he goes on Russia Today and other programs. He doesn't talk about QAnon on there. Why? Why does he do that? Why doesn't he mention this great thing, QAnon, that he tells all of his vast amounts of viewers and subscribers is the best thing since sliced bread? So why doesn't he promote him when he's got that bigger audience? Because it's not about that to Lionel. He just needs to lie to and convince the Q followers on YouTube. He knows if he speaks about that kind of thing, the general public, you know, fresh from the comedy roast, where these four geniuses from YouTube really done more damage to the image of anyone that looks at alternative information in the space of 6 minutes than I can ever imagine. You know, that's why he doesn't bring it up when he's doing his mainstream bit. And we're going to look at him a little bit in a moment, but this video here, I urge you all to watch it. It's from a channel called Roosevelt. And I'd already seen this yesterday, but then I seen Unirock, he was playing it as well. And if you're just joining us, hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll get on with Unirock tonight. So keen to join that guy, but these pesky time zones, man. But fingers crossed, I've got a lot of weed. I'll go for a little sleep, and I'll be back later with Uni, guaranteed. And I hope the stream's going well today. I hope. Fingers crossed. But I urge you to check out this channel, Roosevelt. I'm going to let you listen to 1 minute, maybe 1 minute. I can't stomach a minute of this dude, so we'll see how long I last with him, right? Here's Lionel Media. I'm going to turn down the music so you can hear him himself.
Does Trump know about Q? Does Trump know about Q? 1 for yes, 2 for no. Simple. Does he? Is there any chance? Is there any chance? Any chance? Think about this. Wow. Do you think so? Is there anybody here who says no, he doesn't know? No, there's no. Somebody said, Alex says no. So far it's been unanimous. Is there any chance? Any chance whatsoever? Do you think that he knows who he is? Yeah. Yes. Let's work with this. Yes. Absolutely. Has to know. Has to know. How do I really know this? How do you really know this? How do you really know this to be true now? The answer is simply this. When the mainstream media decided to start doing these articles about Q and how crazy Q was and how crazy this was, that was a time for somebody to say, "Excuse me, Sarah, how could be because somebody had to talk to."
Listen, the reason people were saying that Q is crazy and it's all a big scam is thanks to the work of Unirock, Isaac Green, Defango, the baker that came forward with all the information that told you that this was nothing to do with Trump. But of course, Lionel, you know, he's taking advantage. He knows what conspiracy theorists think. And we all often think that, you know, when something has been attacked, they maybe don't want us to look at it, stuff like that. Not in this case, though. But he knows if he just needs to convince the people that he's already programmed. And one of his other videos that I looked at one time, he was talking about becoming a QAnon apostle. Now, he knows there's a lot of Christian people out there following Q. And I've got nothing against people following Q, because the more I look at it, the more these people have been using really, really clever and really kind of covert psychological techniques to hook people in. So I'm not criticizing anyone following Q, although at this point now, to have not seen the information that's been far and wide, and bear in mind, Unirock was even taken on to, well, his information was basically, he put all of the information together from various sources. And you can see that on his channel, Unirock 1. It's just Unirock. And then he came on my show with more information, still coming from the likes of Isaac Green and other people out there. I use Uni as the major focus because he had the balls to go out and do this. And I'm so glad we came across him. But NBC and all these stories that spun off the back of it, pretty much based on the work of Uni and all those people who brought it to the fore. But this clown here, he won't tell you go and look at Unirock. Because he knows some people will. And then people who do have an IQ that's, you know, of a reasonable standard, they're going to say, wait a minute. You've got this guy with evidence versus these people with nothing. Just appeals to your emotion. Forget logic. Forget everything. Just trust them, right? Trust the scam. You see how they work? But this cat here, I mean, we'll take another little listen to him. I'll try not to crack up too much, right? But it annoys me. And he annoys me because he's pretending to be well, he's not pretending to be something he's not, because I think you can watch him over the years. I'm not going to ad hominem attack him. I've got my own personal opinion. I used to like this guy. I used to think he was brilliant, highly intelligent. He still is highly intelligent, which makes it worse, right? He knows what he's doing. I even invited him on the show at one point, and it never came about. It will never come about now. I'm not giving anyone a platform to speak about QAnon being a military insider, even doing more damage to Trump's reputation, because all of this has been lumped together. I don't support politics, folks. I don't. I'm apolitical, but you can see how this is going and how it's playing out. And in no small part down to people like him. Don't get me started on Sather. Uni, he's got him bagged and tagged. You know, go and watch his latest stuff about Sather curing cancer and things like that. That guy's dangerous, but so's this one. If it plays.
Sarah on the QT. No pun intended. Write that down, somebody. On the QT. Q-tip, QT. We think of all the Qs. So you know somebody had to have said to him, listen, what's going on with this thing? The president is, I mean, there's like 25 million stories about the horrors of QAnon and how it's some type of crazy...
I need to pause this. Yeah, Mr. Stonely in the chat room, Q is AI. I used to say that on my show. I used to think there was an AI element to this. But go and watch it, dude. Go and watch Unirock. Go and watch the breakdown. Go and watch Pamphlet Anon. A really cheesy guy sitting on the Patriot soapbox getting caught posting his QAnon. He got caught live, hot mic caught. It's not AI. It's not AI. What they do is they've got people like Jerome Corsi. And I think, you know, probably towards the start, he wasn't fully aware of what was going on. But they were using him, you know, as White House insiders, because he does have contacts in there. You know, he speaks to people like Roger Stone and that as well. And that's how they were getting some kind of inside scoop. But there's no AI involved here. Really isn't. And that's not me telling you that. That's backed up by evidence. You can go to Isaac Green, Anti-School. You can go to Unirock 2. You can go to other people out there. Roy Potter, who I'm going to have on the show tomorrow night. He had Baruch the Scribe, one of the original Qs on there, or at least one of the ones that was kicked out of the team when Pamphlet Anon. You go and see him on Patriot Soapbox. Q is not some mysterious guy sitting in the White House. Unless that desk of his is sat in the corner of the Oval Office, he ain't near Donald Trump. And it ain't AI. And it's not as exciting as we all thought. And Mr. whoever your name was, I've forgotten now. I'm not having a go. It's just I was there as well. I used to think it was AI. Used to have a right laugh about it. Used to call them a cult. They've turned into a cult, unfortunately. They truly, truly have. In this video as well, there's a bit in here where a guy, he's basically explaining why QAnon and the whole kind of phenomenon has become like a cult. And it's like a religion. You know, everyone thinks their own religion is the truth. And you go and tell somebody else that their religion is crap and fake, and you're going to get into an argument pretty soon, because people get emotionally charged over that, right? They react because they think their truth is the one. It's exactly what's happening with Q. Go and try it. I love baiting people. I really do love baiting people on Facebook and on Twitter. Now, you might say, that's a bit childish, Kev, baiting them. No, I bait them so that they can display the kind of reaction that backs up everything myself and others are saying. You know, if these were logical people who weren't so invested with time, energy, and a lot of times money, you know, donating into that thing. And yeah, I've got donate buttons, but I'm just Kev Baker. I'm not telling you I'm getting information from some hidden source that's close to Theresa May. Imagine getting close to Theresa May. My God. The mind boggles. But there's a difference. There's definitely a difference, okay? So, that being said, let's have a look at who Lionel Media actually is. And I know people will criticise this because it's from Wikipedia, but we'll have a look, because Lionel Media was born Michael William LeBron, and that was in 1958. He is 60 years of age, and it says he's popularly known as Lionel. He's an internationally syndicated radio, television, and YouTube legal and media analyst. He is leading promoter of the right-wing QAnon conspiracy. Now, you know, probably Lionel came in and updated this himself because he absolutely loves himself. If the guy was made of chocolate, he'd eat himself. Seriously. Never known anyone to be quite as smug and at times condescending as well. All his use of these big fancy words that half the time most of the audience don't even understand. But he's been to kind of legal school. He knows all this stuff. Look at me. I'm better than everyone. Dick. So it says here, LeBron hosted the court TV law show Snap Judgment in the late 1990s. So this guy comes from a background of being a paid actor, folks. This is what I'm talking about. You know, we talk about Sather being an actor. This dude literally is an actor. And you've also got, you know, Cappy. He's coming forward. Still don't know truly what to make of that guy. But I've got a serious problem with the fact he reads from a script in one of his videos. And if you don't believe me, go to my boy Unirock. He's got it all there. So it says, beginning in May 2007, LeBron replaced the Majority Report with Sam Seder on Air American Radio with a daily 3-hour talk show. Now, Seder claimed that LeBron's unpopularity with Air America's listeners excuse me, led to the loss of most of Seder's audience within a year of assuming the time slot, as well as the loss of 2/3 of the live affiliates and live streaming. Now, Talkers Magazine included him in the 2010 heaviest 100 list at 54, and in 2013, Frontier 50 list at number 37. For what? Because he's some talking head going about New York? But that's okay, right? Because here's a guy that comes from the world of fake news and fake media and things, and because he turns up on Alex Jones and now he talks about QAnon, he's cool, right? He's been converted. Really? You know, I think we can see why QAnon is so appealing to Lionel. Because in his public life, it seems he used to have almost a kind of repellent effect. He turned people off from anywhere that he turned up. We're seeing it here. But now he's managed to find a topic where he gains that popularity. And all of these people that are famous and crave fame, even these talking heads, you know, he craves it because he was on the telly. And that's how I know he craves it. And that's why he's loving building up this audience on the back of Q. Aside from the money that's rolling in, he's just loving the attention. Absolutely loving it. The narcissist that he is. So then it says here, LeBron also appeared on an episode of House of Cards. People, will you wake up? And I'm not talking to people in the chat, but people reading and people watching this. They must realize that they're being sold a scam by literal actors. You got Cappy, you got this dude, Sather. He was caught by the blue chicken. He was literally taught by the people who brought you the blue chicken story from the South Pole. Corey Good and David Wilcock. If you watch enough of David Wilcock, go and watch Sather, Soy Boy Sather, with the sound down. Because you'll find that he even speaks in the same pattern as Wilcock. talk about a clone. And these are the people that are pushing this most. You've got another couple in there, and I'll get into that tonight with Uni. No doubt. There's not a night goes by we can't speak about this, right? But it says, promotion of conspiracy theories. Since losing his Air America show, LeBron, I keep thinking of LeBron James, the basketball player. How cool would it be if he came out and started talking about Q? I'd let him off with it just for a laugh. But it says here, LeBron shifted his politics to the right and re-established himself on right-wing conspiracy theorist Alex Jones' InfoWars network, where he used his new show to promote debunked conspiracy theories. Now, this I do have contention with, such as false birtherism claims about President Obama. Anyone who still thinks Barack Obama was born Barack Obama, you need help. There's some serious problems with that dude. I've even got some serious problems with his wife stroke husband, Michael stroke Michelle. Serious issues there. But see how they were able to ridicule that on the Comedy Central roast of QAnon. There's some really good information on that show, like the adrenalized blood, stuff like that. That's true. But they ruined it, all of it. And any of us now talking about that kind of thing, people are going to think, that was on Comedy Central with Jim Jeffries. What a heap of shite that is, right? See how it works? Oh, hang on. We have got royalty in the chat room. Royalty. And she says blue chickens are delicious. I agree. I couldn't eat a whole one, though. But yeah, Nano Girl is in the chat room, folks. That's all I'm going to say. You can figure out who Nano Girl is yourself. But Nano, great to see you here. Absolutely made my day. Even better now. Lee in there as well. Love seeing you, Lee. Always great comments, man. And hey, there he is. Guru Bob. He's got his spanner. Right, back to this, right? It says here. So we've done with the Obama birth certificate. And that's my opinion. What's your opinion? Leave it in the chat. I'll be able to scroll back up to it very, very soon, okay? We'll go through all of these things. But it says the Storm claims the government is involved in a cover-up of the 2017 Las Vegas mass shooting. The Storm. Well, we all know what that developed into. The 9/11 Truther movement. Wow. That's been debunked, has it? Really? You know, this is another one, 9/11. There we go. I'll probably lose, any kind of... I won't be able to share this video now just for talking about such a thing. We need a new name for that. That day in September, if anyone actually believes the official narrative and the fact that they were still finding plane parts, up to maybe, I think it was a year or so ago, they found a bit of an engine in between two New York buildings. If you believe that, please, please, please stay away from Lionel Media and Sather, because there's a good chance you're going to buy right into QAnon. My point is that it didn't go down what we were told that day. It did not. And I think there's so many different theories out there, so many different kind of hypotheses, different things you can look at, no planes, all this stuff. I think they swamped people with too much information to the point where it was overwhelming. And any of the real kind of stuff that would have been clues as to what really happened that day kind of got diluted. They got lost. People seize upon the more fanciful ones. I've been there. I've done it. One person I would point to who all she done was point out the inconsistencies and the kind of weird evidence in the photographs. Dr. Judy Wood, where did the towers go? She doesn't claim to know what happened, how it happened, anything like that. She just explains the anomalies in the pictures, and that in itself leads to big questions, very big questions. Okay, so that's all I'll say about that. So I don't think it's a debunked 9/11 truther movement. The anti-vaccine movement, well, hang on, that's been debunked? Really? See, this is why Wikipedia, you really got to be very, very open-minded, use discernment, go and check things, but I wouldn't say the vaccine debate is final. Absolutely not. We could speak all day about the dangers of vaccines, folks. And in the beginning, vaccination is a science. But actually, it's good science. Okay? It does work. But it's all of these different chemicals and adjuvants and just the barrage of poisons, because that's what they are now. that they bombard into children, younger and younger and younger all the time. In Australia, you can literally get put to jail, I think. You can get a fine if you don't have your children vaccinated. And watch Australia, because it's like China for me. What happens in Australia and China, usually they're like the guinea pigs for what's going to come for everyone else. So it gets back to here, and it says, and QAnon. Well, I would say QAnon is debunked, but I still need to really see who was the original kind of person that got it all going. And I think even Uni, he says he's getting close to that point, but I really, I'd say it's debunked, although it's a lot of the information they come out with. And this is why it was so compelling and a good, useful research tool. And because it led to things that hooked people in. You know, a lot of the information that Q's posted isn't bunk. It's not. A lot of the predictions, most of the predictions, all of the predictions are bunk, but there's a lot of stuff in there that's really good for people just coming to the movement. I mean, it leads you into like the bloodlines, the Illuminati, the fact that the world isn't the way that we think it is. So there's elements of that if we could cherry pick from QAnon, if we could just take the way that it got people mobilized into researching, that was good. And it led to good research, to good information. So I wouldn't say that side of it's been debunked. The whole military intelligence, Q, clearance insider, utter bunkum, okay? Says LeBron has also hosted conspiracy theorist Jerome Corsi, a prominent member of the birther movement and promoter of QAnon conspiracies theories. And he has hosted and given friendly interviews to guests who have pushed the false conspiracy that that school in Connecticut, nothing happened. I had Dr. Jim Vetzer, or Professor James Vetzer, on the show to talk about his book. I'm not even going to say the name of it because that'll get me struck off YouTube. But he makes a really good case, along with Wolfgang Halbig, that things weren't what we were told around that. They weren't. I wasn't there. I don't know definitively. I could make a case either way. And depending on your biases, when you watch any one of these actual events, if you go in there thinking that something's always a false flag, the evidence that you see is going to fit that. And that very same evidence to somebody who thinks false flags don't happen is going to mean something entirely different. But it's still the same piece of evidence. And that's how biases creep in. And you've got to treat all of these as much as we can on a really case-by-case kind of basis. Because if you go in there thinking, well, I've seen that in the last one, so if I see that in this one, that's confirmed. Not necessarily. And I've been saying now for some time, you know, some of these real glaring mistakes that they have made with crisis actors and things like that, I honestly now think that was on purpose. Because all of that together with everything going on with QAnon, they just want to make anyone talking about any kind of conspiracy, anything that's against the official narrative, they're determined to make us all look batshit crazy. It would not surprise me if we have some psychiatric kind of term comes up in the next couple of months, years, where thinking the way we do, for daring to question things because we know that we're being told it by known liars, that in itself will probably see us, you know, as some kind of weird new kind of, I don't know, syndrome. There'll be some syndrome, questioning everything syndrome. Who knows what they'll call it, but that in itself will probably get us onto another list. And then with social credit coming our way, you see how this all becomes a problem just for the things we think. You know, we talk about freedom of speech right now, but there's a freedom of thought kind of thing on the horizon as well here. There really is, because even daring to think this way, that in itself is definitely putting you as an enemy, number one. But that's Lionel for you. That's QAnon stuff for today. He was at the White House. I think they've got a picture of it in here somewhere. Yeah, there it is. You see him sat there. Is it Kellyanne Conway? Is that her? I think that's her. Definitely. But we've got your man, Lionel. I don't know if she's a Q, probably a Q poster, but they're talking about, did he actually say to Trump about Q? And part of me thinks Trump will know because he's active on Twitter. So he's bound to have seen the whole where we go one, we go all How stupid a motto is that? That's like saying you're a sheep. Because that's what sheep do. Where one sheep goes, they all go. Talk about herd mentality. And that's why I really seriously think people like Pamphlet and on, people like Sather, people like Beans, you know, the ones that are really, really pushing this little character here, looks like a little rat. Really, really does. See, the TV show Grimm, see how like people used to like shapeshift into little animals and things? He wouldn't even need much makeup, would he? Truly. A couple of whiskers, he's there. He's a rat. Anyway, that out the way, what we're going to do now is, we're going to come back into the chat with all of you. That's what I'm going to do, folks. So we're gonna hang out. We're going to chill in the chat. I'm going to see what's happening in here. So I'm going to scroll up the way. We'll see what's happening. Barack the poop. Good one, Lee. Good one. Good one. So I'll scroll up, see what's happening. All right, here we go. I see Nano in there. Don't go all the way back to the start. We'll be here forever, folks. Says Lionel loves to hear himself talk, and that's Count Roxo. Absolutely. What a hypocrite I am, though, because here I am. I've been talking for, 55 minutes, and you're still with me. So maybe I shouldn't really go throwing stones in glass houses, but says citizen and profiting from the lies. Aaron James enjoy it. Lionel loves to hear himself talk. I'm trying to find something good here. He's a condescending fella. Blue chickens are delicious. And if anyone's wondering why I talk about blue chickens, that is all to do with Corey Good and David Wilcock and their blue avian aliens that are set to take over the South Pole or something ridiculous like that. It's even too woo for me. I love woo. Everyone knows I love woo. But if Kev Baker says that's a bit too far for me, that should set off alarm bells in anyone, because I have done some outrageous shows over the years. Outrageous. And, I'll admit, when I was really young, fresh to this, I made a big mistake as well. Big mistake. I got kind of hoodwinked into believing I was talking to somebody who claimed he was something, but definitely he wasn't. And, after a while, it became a bit of a joke with me and the guys, and there was no harm done, thankfully. Didn't result in anyone handing over any money, nothing like that. But you got to be really careful. And the point I bring that up is because, if you're going to do this kind of thing, especially on YouTube, you're going to be wrong from time to time. You are going to be wrong. But at least have the balls to say that you were wrong. Don't just double down and attack anyone who's coming along and with information that picks away at your little lie. It only becomes a mistake if you fail to correct it. And it's obviously John Kennedy that said that. One of the true great kind of people that hit American politics. And he had his faults, don't get me wrong. But, look at the world we ended up in where John McCain was in charge of stuff. Exactly. So it says here, at targeted the list we're on must be in a database somewhere. Tired of the directed energy weapon as well, I hope. Stay strong. Mary, that's right. I'm looking down for questions, folks. I'm getting down near the bottom, so if you've got questions and things, get them in there. Chicken is code for child. Not in this case, it's not. No, the blue avians, Lee, honestly, Lee H. The blue chickens are definitely, you need to go and check out Corey Good for the blue chicken story. These are, according to him, aliens. I'm not making it up. It's nothing to do with code for children or anything. I'm not saying that Corey Good is into any of that stuff. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. I don't know. Never looked into the guy deep enough. Not my cup of tea. Says, I'm still going to make jokes about flat earth and blue chickens. Hey, listen, Lee, I think we should be able to joke about absolutely anything. I joke about some of the most inappropriate stuff at times, but that's what us Scots guys do. It's just our sense of humour. And if people don't like jokes and things like that, as long as they're not utterly, violently offensive and sick, come on. If you don't like the joke, walk away. Hashtag walk away. That's what really pisses me off these days. People used to be, if you didn't like something, you didn't go near it. But now it seems to be, the more you hate somebody, or the more say somebody hates me, you can guarantee that person will be one of the first to click on my videos anytime. They are the best comeback viewers, okay? Because in this day and age, it's almost as if we like to be offended so that we can then cry hate. But it's weird. It's a horrible world we now live in. It's like Alex Jones. I love the guy. Always have. Probably always will. Doesn't mean I've always agreed with him. If you don't like him, bloody well turn off. Nobody's twisting the arm up your back to watch Alex. Nobody's twisting your arm to watch me. People need to, grow a thick skin, get a set of balls back on them, and stop being hurt by words. Half the time the words aren't even directed at them. People get upset over the most ludicrous stuff. They really, really do. So it says here, Nano girl, you rock. She does, Lee, she does. Where are we going down? There is footage of Obama when he was younger, man, getting into politics, where he talks about his birthplace being Kenya. And that's from Buzzacino. Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. Great point. There is. And for people out there who probably still might not have seen that, I urge you go and check that kind of thing out. Seen one today. He was talking real bad about Christians as well. A lot of people think he's a Muslim plant. I definitely do. Absolutely, definitely do. It says here, 19 hijackers with box cutters equals government conspiracy theory. Exactly. But yet they say conspiracies aren't real, right? But literally, by definition, their version of the 9/11 events was a conspiracy. Go figure. And we've got Angela in there. Changed my name to my real name. I used to be Blue. Welcome, Angela. It's good to see you. There's a few truthers on YouTube that appear to have the same script of information. Their delivery styles appeal to every demographic. Their bios are super vague. That's from Mary. That's a good point, Mary. And if you want to chuck in some of the information, maybe you have done further down. I've scrolled quite far up. But the main one I point to for being scripted and a plant is definitely Jordan Sather. Absolutely. He makes out he's some kind of super genius as well, and yet he didn't realise he was going to be made to look like an absolute retard on Comedy Central. And what's worse, he made everyone following Q look stupid as well. Even Pamphlet and on, he tried to make out, no, I've not watched that yet. I've not watched the roast of me. I mean, oops, Q. He's watched it. He's livid. These people done more harm in those 6 minutes than I ever imagined they could. Seriously. And it's what we said all along. And it's not, oh, I told you so. Bloody obvious they were going to set them up. Really obvious. Comedy Central, that didn't worry them that it was a comedy show that wanted them on. Anyway, we'll keep going down. They think you're a goldfish, Alex Jones. The thing is, though, back when I was young, many, many moons ago, it used to be quite an insult to say to people, like, you got a memory like a goldfish. People would be like, oh, come on, man, that's terrible saying that, because goldfish have only got a memory of between 10 to 9 seconds. Yet, in some studies that have been done recently, guess what the average kind of attention span is of the group of people they studied? You've probably forgotten what I was talking about now anyway if you're in that group of people, but it was a goldfish. Honestly, their memory is down to 10 seconds or so, and I put that down to, and I'm included. We're all included here. We're all changing. Sorry. Psychologically, the way we even think because of social media. We've become so used to just scrolling down looking for something that interests us that couple of seconds you look at something and then you move on to something else, that has altered the way that we do think and the way we concentrate. And even when you watch, we get analytics on the back end of YouTube and you can see how long people watch for and stuff like that. And basically, after about 1 minute, most people have gone away. If you don't capture somebody after 1 minute, and their attention span, wow, that's like 6 goldfish. They've done well to get to the minute. So the whole goldfish thing, They've well got us to the goldfish point right now. So it says here, Hillary Clinton, Hillary equals Hillary, female part decode. No, no idea where that was going. Sorry, man. We've got Kev and I were looking at this link, and that was from Guru in the chat room. I've got a heck of a cold today, man. Just a little tickle in the back of the throat. Lee, here we go. Mandatory vaccinations for school children is an issue. They have a lot in places for parents that are against HPV and MMR vaccinations. That MMR one, HPV as well, you know, we need some kind of real study done into this, not by the pharmaceutical companies that are already profiting from the stuff. Because they're obviously going to tell us everything's okay, right? There's no money in making people okay. You think about it. I mean, that you want repeat customers, right? So why would they give children all of the vaccinations and things they need as a child, which would mean they would never be a consumer of their products in the future? Doesn't even make sense. The business model of making people well from a pharmaceutical company's point of view stinks. You don't want to make them well. You want to keep them on the medication. So it says here, Erin, the flockers were flocking today. Dick Cheney. I'll go for this one. We'll see where this one goes. Dick Cheney. Dick equals Dick plus Cheney equals chain he decoded. Dick Chains he, known for starting the LifeLock company and connections to 9/11. Gulf oil spill. The second part, yeah, but I don't know if breaking down the names really tell you much, to be honest. Unless we can find out he picked that name himself. I get where you're coming from. I do get where you're coming from, but sometimes I think we can overthink things. You know, we can overanalyze things. But the bit at the start that you said there about the end about the crime family, 9/11, definitely a bad guy. But I don't know if breaking down the names works that way. Hillary agreed. Best part of being an adult is I can eat cookie dough for breakfast. Right, folks, you need to stand by. Somebody's at my door, and I hope it's not the police. I'm only joking. Stand by, folks. Okay, folks, I'm back. It's just my pride and joy. My son, he was at the Celtic game today, so he's back in now. He's really happy. Is that chat working in there? It doesn't look like it's working on that one. I think it is. Who knows? Yeah, there it goes. But yeah, my team won 1-0 today, so we're all happy in this household tonight. But yeah, pride and joy. It used to be wee Kev, I'm big Kev. I'm back to being wee Kev again because he's about 6'10" now. Now, he's not that tall, but he's a big boy, I'm telling you. So it says here, I am more hollow earth than domed planet, but we can agree to disagree about the shape of the planet. That's exactly the way I feel about things, Lee. You know, one of the mods, very, very into flat earth and things. And, you know, we're able to talk about so much other things going on in the world. And that's where I think a lot of the flat earth people, you know, there might be a small minority of them, in fact, because I don't know how many people believe the flat earth theory, but it's almost as if it's all they can talk about. And I said it one time for a laugh, you know, it's like the Jehovah Witnesses of social media because they just turn up. And I'm with Lee on this one. I think we've got a whole lot more things we need to worry about before we can argue about the shape of the playing field. Let's sort the playing field first. For me personally, I'm more of a kind of oblique, kind of potato-shaped earth kind of guy. That's my opinion, and your opinion's yours, but I just don't see why you get this whole need, some people, just to turn it to flat Earth. I'm into Sasquatch, I'm into UFOs, but I wouldn't go on to, I don't know, say an Alex Jones chat room or some other chat room that wasn't dealing with that and start to almost kind of misdirect and kind of take the chat away from what it was about. I don't get it, but if that's your thing, that's cool. Honestly, it doesn't bother me. Just don't expect me to be covering it that much. Like I've said before, TFR, I've got some of the leading flat Earth researchers, and obviously I'm a part of Truth Frequency Radio, so I'm lucky that I can point people in that direction, because it's not something that I'm all that clued up in, the pros and cons. It really isn't. And myself and Billy, we had a little chat about it one day, and I think we both agreed, it's okay to disagree, because there's so many other things we need to fix in the world right now. People in Palestine, do you think they care about the shape of the planet? I think there's probably more things we could be doing for them and others before we get into that whole argument. And we go down, Carol Motzinger, I'm both. Now, if that's to do with the flat Earth, I like that, because that's quantum. Who knows what shape it is, and none of us are out there right now to observe it. So maybe it's flat and maybe it's round at the same time. What could have happened is our perception of the same information that we're decoding has changed. Like I was saying earlier on, if you go and look at a false flag, one person's into false flags, the other person doesn't believe in false flags. You show them the exact same photograph or the exact same kind of clip, they're both going to be able to make that fit their narrative. But at the end of the day, it's still just the same data, the same information. It's just how they're perceiving it and interpreting it. So maybe with CERN, with the quantum computers as well, with Mandela effects, we're certainly seeing our long-term memories, our past perception of things have changed, or did they change? Have we changed? Could be, my point being, both a sphere and flat, both at the same time. It just depends how you perceive it. Ever the ambassador. I'm like the diplomat of flat Earth. Can you believe it? So it says here, Kev, hey Kev, and all in the room. A big shout out to you, Mr. Menza. How you doing? We have got, coming further down now, says, all truthers will be homeless if that scoring credit comes into Ireland, the land of the free. But that credit system, that social credits, that does scare me, That's where they're able to shut you out from being able to do things and buy things and really control you big time. And you watch people self-censoring then. Oh, absolutely. You want to go on holiday next year? Well, you better start posting what the government are saying. 10 shares a day will maybe work off some of your bad credit, your bad karma that you've amassed. That's the kind of crap we're talking about. It says to open your mind, you must first open your eyes. And to have the courage to open your eyes, you must first open your heart. And so many are heart-locked and lost. So open your heart. Find your courage. Wow. What an absolutely brilliant comment. I hope we're still going out live here, folks. I hope. Not sure if the chat room's moving, but I like that. Really like that comment. And that came from Bellacino, I think. It scrolled away again. It has scrolled away again. Trust that to happen. I'll come into the other chat and I'll try and find it in here. Got that many chat rooms open. It's all the same chat room, but Mandela stuff. Fascinating. Kev, with McCain gone, what's going to happen to oven chips? Oh, holy heck. Mr. Mensa, I'm going to actually copy and paste that. I like that. Brilliant. Oh, you guys make me laugh. So it says psychological operations. Oh, come on. It keeps on jumping about. Psychological operations and so much disinfo out there in so little time. Absolutely, Lee. I think the whole amount of information and disinfo coming our way is for that very reason. It's to overwhelm us. You basically then can't get a handle on really what's going on. Bring this over here. And AI controls the matrix. Well, there's certainly, the potential for an AI to be in control right now. I know that. Whether it's fully in control of all of us right now, I'm not too sure. We're lined with nanotechnology. We were talking about this on Anthony's show the other night. We've all been breathing that in. There's a good chance that in the near future, whether it's for gaming or whether it's for even your workplace telling you to do it, we're all going to end up with chips, okay? And not McCain oven chips or microchips either. So this matrix that Mr. Stoneley's talking about, absolutely, I'm with you. I call it the invisible prison system. And we were talking with Dr. Karlstrom the other night about the painless concentration camp, but we dropped that. I changed the title of the video because for people who are targeted, this is far from painless. And yes, I think there will be one algorithm, one AI to rule them all. And then below that, it can create little AI agents that can go out and do some of the menial tasks, collect the data, but there will be one AI to rule them all. And this isn't even an AI because it's an AGI. It's an artificial general intelligence. And that's, when we're talking about the D-Wave and we're talking about the other companies like Rigetti, we talk about IBM. It's great, D-Wave have got the annealing system, quantum computer that goes to other dimensions. That's super cool. I could be here talking about that all day. But the real dream of all of these companies is to have something called a universal quantum computer. And that's one that will not only be able to simulate and model things like the D-Wave, that's the one we're talking about. And I think that's the one Mr. Stoneley, that's the one we need to watch out for. Is it already here? I imagine it definitely is. Machine learning, even if it doesn't know it's the algorithm to rule them all right now, it'll be doing its thing. It'll be, learning, always improving to the point where it doesn't even stop. It always improves on itself. So yeah, that's definitely coming, man. Cycle, I've done that one. Where are we now? Nancy, that is well said. I can't see what Nancy said. What did Nancy say? Need to try and scroll back up now, folks. So much going on in the chat room. So much chat, not enough time. So I'm looking down. Bomb the plasma trap in the tip of the sphere of destiny was a sponge soaked in vinegar. There you go. It's going to be a burnt chip by now. Somebody obviously talking about your man McCain there. Such a popular guy, isn't he? Not. If you've got any more questions, folks, before I go, AI builds the pyramid. I don't know. I'm not sure. I suppose it could tell anyone to go and build anything. It's going to have robots that build houses in 2 days. So if you want to build a pyramid, let's get it building a pyramid. P900, cool pics. Welcome, man. We're almost at the end, but that's okay. That's okay. Better late than never. It's just good to see you here. We're just hanging out. That's all Sundays are on here. D-Wave could possibly be used for time travel, pop into another dimension and back in this one. Nah. It could time travel to the future, and here's why. Because if you run something like the sentient world simulation, which the quantum computer that D-Wave have, it's brilliant for running simulations. That's what it's all about. Optimization. So if you were to take that program from the sentient world simulation and put it into one of these dimensions, that's what it does. It puts all of that information into another dimension, okay? All those states at once. And all of us then represented by nodes. If you've got enough information, because we are creatures of habit, it can literally do the Minority Report and start to predict things. It becomes predictive. And that's more down to the fact that, we're creatures of habit in reality. But if it's got enough data on all of us, and it needs to have more and more data, the more data it has, the more accurately it can predict. That in itself's a form of time travel, right? If you can tell what people are doing in the future. We had that story about Amazon. It was saying that literally, they're at the stage now where they know what you're going to order even before you click it, to the point where they're getting your orders ready for you. Now, that might be a bit of hyperbole there, but to somebody like me, I look at that and I know that Amazon, Jeff Bezos, has a D-Wave. We know that Amazon probably buying a lot of information from Google, i.e. our personal data. All of that going into the D-Wave, all of our habits, all of our likes, dislikes, things we're looking at online. They can literally tell when we're about to buy something ahead of time. That in itself is kind of time travel-ish, right? I love time travel. I really do. And I think maybe CERN open up portals, macro scale portals to other dimensions. I think maybe that's more of an option, but it's pure speculation. Pure speculation. When you see these scientists out there that have done like 10, 20 years of tenure in physics universities, MIT, places like that, and they aren't cracking time travel yet, I think my speculation's about as good as you're going to get here on a Sunday, and it's just speculation. You can look at the TV show 12 Monkeys. Now, that was a really good way of showing you how a particle accelerator could be used for just what we were talking about, time travel. So, yeah, I'm open to time travel being real. How we do it, not too sure. Got Buzzacino in there. Loving your questions today, man. Have you seen the anime? Oh, it's scrolling up. Don't go away. Don't go away. Have you seen the anime Steins Gate? It has John Titor, CERN, micro black holes, D-wave, time travel, sending electrical signals into the past to change it. Right, Buzzacino, you need to get in touch with me, man. And I'm going to give you my email. I'll put it in the chat room. It's TrueTube1984 at gmail.com. I really want you to message me, man, because that sounds really, really interesting. Time travel for the Mandela effect. No, I don't agree with that, Matthew, and here's why I don't agree with that. Because if somebody travelled back in time and they changed the name or the line, mirror, mirror, it's now magic mirror, then we would all remember magic mirror because we would all have grown up with that being magic mirror. Nobody would then mirror, mirror would never have existed. Over the minute that person went back in time and changed that, absolutely all of us would have that memory. None of us would recognize mirror, mirror anymore. Same as Bernstein versus Bernstein Bears. You go back and you change that, then our childhoods, we would have grown up with that altered version. So it's the time travel thing for Mandela. I've thought about it a lot, heck of a lot, but it just doesn't fit for me. If everyone had the same memory, yeah, for sure. But the fact that we've got varying memories, different memories, well, Unirock's just put up a new video. Let's see what Unirock shared, shall we, folks? I'll have a quick look first, see what Uni's put on. Because if it's something good, I know Uni has said I can use some of his content from time to time. I certainly wouldn't steal his content, that's for sure. I like this guy too much. Unirock. Aha, I'm going to tell him I'm live right now. And I sent Rach a DM about this one. He done a story last night. Uni. Take this here, see if I can open this up. Get the page. It's really interesting, this one, folks. Really interesting. This is woo. Definite woo. And I know it's woo because I've been there myself. I've researched this. Had a guest on the show that blew my mind with it. I'm going to put it in now. Will you see this? That'll load up eventually if my machine ever catches up. Here we go. It's coming now, folks. Now, this was Uni last night. He was doing a show about whether there was a book back in the 1800s that predicted Donald Trump and spoke about Barron Trump, time travel, all that kind of good stuff. We've got an advert coming up there, so I'll let that play itself. Play its way out. But yeah, now people might think, oh, come on, this is, what are you talking about? A connection between Trump, some book or books back in the 1800s, and Nikola Tesla as well. Well, when I seen Uni had covered this, whoa, something happened there. Hey, we've got a new subscriber, I believe. Awesome. We've seen the Wookiee coming on the screen there. Gotta love the Wookiee, right? You knew I'd have a Wookiee. Come on. There's always going to be a Wookiee, won't it? Right. Vimeo. No, we want to skip that. Please, can we skip that? It doesn't look like we are going to get to skip it. Who honestly knows what's going on there, folks? That's really annoyed me, but yep. Come back here, see if it's gone yet. No, it's still playing away. Come on, you've got to be kidding me. People probably saying, well, why haven't you got ad blocker on, Kev? That would have sorted that out, right? It would have sorted that out. Absolutely, it would have sorted it out. But I had to close down all my apps on all my browsers to get this all going. Ah, see now. See, people are getting used to the Wookiee. They're wanting to see the Wookiee. We all want more of the Wookiee. There we go. We'll get into it now. Vimeo, you just got a free ad on my live stream. Let it be known. I'll let you hear what Uni's saying. Quality's a bit poor there. Trust me, Uni's stuff's better than that. But this is interesting, folks. Oh, come on and play.
Right here. But if you haven't heard about this, you got to trust me on this one. It's a really good story.
It's true.
Whether it's true or whether it's false, let's see what Snopes says. Is Barron Trump's Marvelous Underground Journey a real book from the 1890s? Now, there's the question. Is it a real book? Two books from the 1890s contain seemingly eerie connections to modern-day politics. Mostly true. When do you ever get that from Snopes? Regarding a conspiracy theory. Because when you go to Google and type in Barron Trump time.
But what we'll do, folks, what we'll do is I'll come back with Uni tonight on that one. Hopefully Uni will be not too late on tonight, because if it's too late, it's a nightmare. It's an absolute nightmare. But I'll try and get on with Uni later on. But that's a really interesting story, and it's basically, I had a guest on the show called Walter Bosley, and he pointed out the fact that there was this book back in the 1890s, and it had crazy kind of drawings in it. But on the drawings, it had Trump. I'm not making this up. Uni said that, even Snopes said that this is mostly true. Imagine Snopes agreeing with anything we say. But not only that, right, the character in the book was called Barron Trump. Not shitting you. You've got the fact that, I need to remember this now off the top of my head, I think it's Trump's uncle. He was working with the feds and was told to go and collect the papers of a very famous scientist. And that very famous scientist is, in fact, Nikola Tesla. Now, Nikola Tesla was allegedly part of a secret group back in the turn of the century, around the time of some weird stuff going on. And of course, you could stretch the imagination and think that maybe he had access to time travel, right? He said he spoke to Martians, right? Not me saying this. This was Tesla, one of the most intelligent, bright guys in the world. So the story, and it's a lot of speculation and connecting a lot of dots that may not be there, but it's fascinating, really fascinating. Who knows? Who knows if there's some connection between Trump and this people back in the 1890s? The group, and they're not a very well-known group at all, they're called the NIMSA. And the NIMSA, but stay with me, this NIMSA, this group out of the late 1800s, 1900s, they went over to America. And arguably, they became the breakaway civilization. Not the blue chicken men, not that kind of stuff, but a true breakaway civilization. Now, is it true? I don't know if it's 100, and don't know if it means anything, but it's one of these kind of synchronicities, if nothing else, that make you wonder what's going on in this reality. Me personally, anyway. I mean, I do believe there's a God, a creator, an Allah, whatever name you want to give it. We're all talking about the same thing. But I also believe we live in some kind of simulation, some kind of matrix. And if that is the case, if we do live in a simulation and a matrix, that makes sense then that we're perceiving the data of the matrix differently. Something's happened to us as opposed to the data. Could it just be the fact that we're ourselves now producing more and more data than we've ever done at any time in our history? And all of that, along with the data that keeps this simulation, this reality, this 3D world appearing solid all around us? Who knows, eh? Who knows? Deep stuff for a Sunday. I get it. Billy. Maybe the Earth is way bigger than they tell us, so measurements make the Earth seem flat. That's logic. That's very logical. How many of us are able to go and take a tape measure and actually measure the planet? It's a good point. And the vast distances is what makes it seem flat. Seen something the other day, though, where even a flat earther was convinced that they had to go and rethink things. And what happened was they took a laser and they shot it across the surface of a lake. Now, just close to the side where the laser was, the boat, they had a target on it, a big white board, and the laser was right in the middle. No deviation, straight line, obviously. Now, if the Earth was straight or the Earth was flat, then that laser would maintain the same distance between the water and where it is all the way, right? It would just stay the same. But what they do is they get the boat to sail out. I can't remember how far it is. But when they then try to get the laser, find the laser on the target, it's that far off because of the slight curvature that's happened. The laser's going up way above the boat. So I thought that was a really good scientific kind of experiment. I know people will probably debunk it and debate it. So the world we live in now, and there's nothing wrong with that. A healthy debate, so long as we keep it respectful. And, you know, keeping the mind open is great, but not to the point where the head falls out. Tracy, and here's a cat amongst the pigeons. What if it's convex? You know, I think we have to basically, if we don't know if it's flat or round, then yeah, convex, concave, everything's in. Everything's in play for me. Why not? So it says, all-nighter, still so sad, hope he made peace with God. He knew he was dying. You know, that's a good point, Nancy. And Nancy, I want to give you a big birthday wish from the Kev Baker show. I seen it was your birthday there. People were talking about that earlier on. Hope you're having a lovely day. I really, really do. Just try to see what other kind of questions we got here before I let you get back to it. My ex-wife is flat. Is that flat earth or flat chest? I'm only joking, dude. I'm only joking. We've got Peter's projection theory. Oh, brilliant. Something happened there. Still getting used to this. We've got another subscriber. Absolutely. I think that was Van. Kev, is it true the moon shouldn't even be stationed here? Something to do with the size and the gravity. I'm not a gravity man, and that might sound a bit weird. I'm not a gravity man because I'm more of an electric universe kind of believer, follower. Makes more sense to me that things are attracted and repelled than the gravity model. So the moon is a very, very strange thing. And you look around all the other planets out there. When you look at their moons, ours is actually quite different than most. It's perfect. Absolutely perfect. I mean, think of when we have an eclipse, right? How on Earth's name did it just randomly, all of the debris that came together that makes up the moon, how did it just perfectly form into a size and be far enough away so that when we have an eclipse, it just perfectly fills the sun? I think it's an artificial construct, the moon, to be honest with you. Best way to describe it that we can probably all think of, maybe some kind of, like the Death Star out of Star Wars. I think somebody put it here. And you know, the moon, it's tied to menstrual cycles, things like that, the tides as well. If it wasn't for the moon, would we even be able to live here? Again, which makes me think that, you know, way back yonder, I'm a believer that some kind of scientific civilization turned up here, put things in motion. And I know Christians out there will go flipping mad at me for even daring to suggest that. Who made the scientists? Doesn't take away from God, okay? Doesn't. Because somebody made them in the first place, right? But when you start to see how that moon is so perfect and weird, and have we ever been there? Probably not. Is there still things there? Probably so. I don't know. Moon for me, very weird one. David Icke, he talks about the Zulu cosmology, their kind of origin story, where two brothers bring the moon here. Did people just make that up, or did it come from some kind of passed down oral tradition? Who knows? So we've got Nancy, yep, your birthday, brilliant. The earth is the shape that each individual perceives it to be. The order of the globalists to get everyone to believe the narrative. Tracy, I get what you're saying. I believe, I'm totally with the first part of that. You see, isn't it just us that call them globalists? Do they call themselves globalists, or is that us? Is that the name we gave them because of the one world order we always talk about? Where did that word globalist first come from? I don't know. I'm just asking. That'd be quite interesting to see, though. The moon is geoengineering placed there to establish the Earth, but by whom? That's the question, Eric. That's the question. It'd be cool, but elite would really that. I'm not sure with that. Probably answering somebody. Chat rooms are full of crazy. Chat rooms are crazy on full moon nights. I almost read that wrong, Nancy. I was about to say chat rooms are full of crazies, but no. Full moon. You look at the paramedics in the world, look at police departments, all of them will tell you they hate the full moon. Why? Because literally lunatics. Lunatics. It's tied to us. It affects us more than people appreciate. It really, really does. Scotty Good. Science is the study of God's creation. Scientism is popular religion trying to disprove God by using theories that require pure faith. Absolutely. That's like, black holes. Black holes are pure faith. We've never, ever been able to recreate one in a laboratory. We've never, ever seen one. And if you can't recreate something, and people say, oh, well, we have seen one. Have we? It's just an area void of light. We've got Stephen Hawking's theory on what a black hole probably is, but is it really that? And, a black hole, it swallows all this light, but yet it's said to spit out, gamma rays and stuff like that. How's that? How does that happen? When you get gamma rays occurring, when you get particles accelerating through a plasma near to the speed of light? So is it a plasma up there? Is it some kind of plasma kind of... my point is, like the guy was saying, it's really, really, there's a lot of faith involved. That's why a lot of things are called theories, Well, they're called theories, but in reality, they should be called hypotheses because they've never truly been tested. And I get you see scientists, a lot of them all the time, doing their level best to try and make a case for no creator. Best way to think about that is, if it is all random, you never come across a sandcastle that washes up on the beach, do you? All these waves washing in, they don't just construct randomly a sandcastle. You come across that, somebody made it. Also, if you're walking through the forest and you see like a tree house up in a tree, that's not just a random kind of configuration of nature and things coming together that done that. That's something ordered that. Somebody done that. And when you look around the universe and the maths that do hold, pretty kind of true. And, you got your Fibonacci sequences, your golden ratios, stuff like that. That wasn't just random. And that's not me starting to be, all holy Kev. I'm not like that. I'm really not. And I'm certainly not somebody that even appreciates people forcing their beliefs on others. Each to their own. I prefer we go our own paths, and as long as we can all come together, that's what it's all about for me. Peace, love, and unity. And talking religion all the time, that's very divisive. I just keep that personal. Targeted in Ireland. The Truman Show and Jupiter Ascending. The Truman Show, I like that film, definitely. I never asked... Oh, where is that? Oh, it's going fast. I think we've lost that one. Try and get it back. It looked like a good one. At the end of the day, people should respect everyone's point of view without taking offense. Whoa, Tracy. Absolutely. You can't say anything anymore without offending people. That really bugs me. Really, really bugs me. You can say, it doesn't matter what you say. It really doesn't. Because if there's 10 people in the room, you can guarantee you're going to offend one. And that's programming, folks, because we're still the same people we always were. We used to be thicker skinned. We used to be able to turn the other cheek. We used to be able to see things for what they were, just a laugh, not some kind of fight. Not anymore, though. That in itself, that's ripping us apart. At a time when we should be coming together. Says the universe and astrophysics. Sorry if I'm missing some stuff here, folks. It's just, like I say, to get this stream going, I've had to close down most of the things, the non-essential parts running on my processor, because I was realising that's what was the problem before. Now, I'm going to be getting a new PC, so this isn't some pity party, anything like that. I know the trolls will say this is me laying hints for this and that. It's not, folks. It's not. I'm just explaining to you that if it takes me time to keep up with the chat or bring things up or something, still learning, and it's going to get better. It really is. So, yes, hit the like button. Exactly. Hit the like button. We want that. We want like. Hod God, go on, offend me. I don't want to offend anyone, Hod. Exactly, sticks and stones, brother. We have infinite... When you have infinite possibilities, the monkeys can do Shakespeare, and randomness can arrange itself into order. True? Imagine monkeys writing Shakespeare. That'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it? You just came across a monkey somewhere writing something. That'd be awesome. Absolutely awesome. You know, anything's possible, who knows? Morals, what a concept. Oh, they're well out the window, ain't they, Matthew? Well out the window. I need a new PC. That was Nana. Nana, if I could, I would send you this old one, but I honestly don't think it would survive being moved off the table. It's one of those ones you leave it on constantly because you don't know if it's going to go back on or not. It says, anyone who is offended when their beliefs are assaulted is clearly insecure in their beliefs. Mel, I agree with that. I do agree with that. However, you see it so often, don't you? You really do. Maybe it's social media that makes it like that, but it just... Social media, it's very, very... It's not real. People don't act like they do on social media in real life. I really have to hope that. Because I think in reality, if we're having conversations physically with people, I think you're right. You know, people wouldn't be as offended as they are when we're communicating on social media. And that's no offense to anyone, because think about it. Most of our communication skills, you know, the actual spoken part, the oral part, that's just a little part of it. A lot of it's in our pitch, in our tone, and most importantly, body language. So body language, you know, if that was, I mean, if you had added all of the other things to what we usually communicate with, I think social media would be a far kind of better place. But obviously it can't be like that. And that's why at times you see these arguments. I've been involved in them. You take something the wrong way, you read it wrong, and before you know it, somebody's ended up being called a Nazi or a pedo or something, and that's the way it goes. But yeah, people are definitely more offended, and I think they're different on social media. I really do. I've got a funny feeling though, all you people in here, I think all you people would really, really, if I met you personally, you'd be no different than what you are in here. Because I honestly, I'm not just saying this, you rarely see arguing over at the TFR chat room. 99 people in here today, all by, you know, all staying on topic, and I thank you for that, because it's pretty kind of winging it here. But I think people like you, I imagine you're actually even nicer in real life. Absolutely brilliant. So, Kev, read books by Dr. Hugh Ross. Hugh Ross. I'll take a note of that. I'll check that out, definitely. And that's from Nancy, Dr. Hugh Ross. I can't stay too much longer, folks, because I need to go and get dinner sorted for Anne coming in before she stabs me or something. But yeah, Kev, you were talking about nanotech earlier, and I was wondering if you have seen the trailer for the film Blue World Order. Oh, no, I have not, but I'm taking a note of that. Blue World Order. I would play it on here for everyone to see, but I'm really quite wary about copyrights and stuff like that, especially now I'm just getting into the live streaming. I don't want to be losing it for 90 days. That'd really, really hurt. But let's come down. Let's see what else we got here. Hugh Ross. Yep. Check out some of the Naughty Beaver channel. Very good. I like the name of it already. 50% water, 50% salt. Rise the water to 10, 7 or 8. That was about pH. It's gone so fast. Mel O'Brien, you're not that. I'm not going to show that comment. Don't be calling yourself that. Get back in the kitchen, Kev. Exactly. And Nana, Blue World Order does sound very interesting. Folks, that's nearly 2 hours of your time. And I really, really want to thank you all for coming here. I want to thank Billy in particular for helping me get the stream set up. And I want to give much love to all of my mods in the chat room. And Nano Girl, you need to email me go to your YouTube channel, go to your page, and it'll be a URL. I'll hopefully be able to find it. If not, I'll go back through the chat and I'll find it there. Because I want you to have a spanner, Nano. They will give you a copyright playing that trailer. Exactly, Flint, exactly. What else we got here? Not everyone can be a leader, but everyone can lead someone by good example. And while good examples exist, hope will never die. Buzzacino, I wish I had some kind of like a prize I could give people for really, giving us something to think about today. Really kind of well thought out comments. Really, really cool, man. Awesome. You've added to everything today. Well done. All of you have. That's why the earth was taken over by people that can live in the sun. You are like a good malt, Kev. Matures with age. Aw, thank you, Flower. And then we've got great show as always by Hod God. And I will take that as my cue to say thanks to all of you. Definitely be hanging out next Sunday. Hopefully I'll be on with Unirock later tonight. Probably tomorrow morning in the UK. Hopefully. Hod God FIFA. Maybe a bit of FIFA. I don't know. No, I need to go and get the dinner on, man. I think there's other football starting. Yeah, there's probably more football coming on. I love my football, folks. I do. I love my soccer, as you say over there in the US. And you see a lot of people, if you're into like alternative media, especially if you're like one of the hosts of a show or something. Not that makes me any different from you, but again, it's perception, right? People think because you do this kind of show, oh, you heathen, you're a traitor for watching sports. You're a traitor for playing a console. We've all got to live. We've all got our enjoyments. We've all got our pleasures. And I just wear my heart on my sleeve. I tell you I'm going to go and play FIFA. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Exactly what I'm going to do. Not Loch Ness is gay. Well, Emperor Mong, that's probably the worst trolling attempt I've ever seen. Why is Loch Ness gay? Come on. Is it cheerful? Because it's obviously, I mean, as far as I know, bodies of water can't have, like, sexual preferences. But maybe somebody out there is identifying as the Loch Ness today. Maybe. Maybe somebody out there thinks they're Loch Ness. And who am I to stand in the way of anyone who believes they're Loch Ness? And if they happen to be gay, then I suppose technically, you must be right. So then, Pro Evo Soccer. Hod God, less of it. Right, guys, thank you very much. Love you all. Speak to you all later. And hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll be on with the man himself, Unirock 2. Check him out. Check him out, folks. And on that note, I am out of here.